All right, today we're diving into one of the most tantalizing mysteries in the entire natural world, the idea of Lazarus species. So what are they? Well, these are animals that have been declared extinct, gone forever, but they might just be hiding out there in plain sight. And if they are, it challenges everything we think we know about finality, about life, and about loss. This really sets the mood, doesn't it? We're about to venture into the gray areas of science, following shadows in the forest and, echoes in the swamps, all to ask this one profound question. What if gone isn't always the end of the story?
Okay, so let's get right into this fundamental question. We're all taught that extinction is it, the end, a final absolute endpoint. But the reality? Oh, it's a lot messier and, frankly, a lot more interesting than that.
So this is the official definition, and it all hinges on that key phrase, no reasonable doubt. It sounds so definitive, doesn't it? But here's the thing, it's a conclusion based on a lack of evidence, not on some definitive proof that a species is truly gone forever. So what happens when new whispers start up, when new sightings and new clues begin to emerge from the wild, sometimes decades after a species has been officially written off? Well, that's exactly where our story really begins. And this brings us to this fascinating scientific concept, so perfectly named after the biblical figure Lazarus, who, as the story goes, was raised from the dead. It's really the perfect term for animals that seem to do the impossible. The coelacanth is the ultimate Lazarus species, the poster child for this whole phenomenon. I mean, this is a fish that was thought to have died out with the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. And then, bam, a live one was caught in 1938. It was proof that nature can hold on to its secrets for an absolutely astonishingly long time. And this really gets to the heart of the whole issue. Scientists do their absolute best with extensive surveys, but they can't be everywhere at once, right? These vast, remote habitats can so easily hide a small, really elusive population. So declaring extinction is, in a way, an educated guess. It's a probability, not an absolute certainty. So now, let's open up the case files. We're going to look at 3 iconic animals that vanished in the 20th century, but just refused to stay ghosts in the 21st. First up, the thylacine, but you probably know it as the Tasmanian tiger. With its kind of dog-like body and those iconic striped hindquarters, this totally unique marsupial predator has been haunting the Australian island of Tasmania long, long after its supposed demise. Just look at this timeline. The gap between its official extinction and the modern era of sightings is decades long. And we're not talking about just 1 or 2 reports here. It's a persistent, steady stream of accounts that keep this incredible mystery alive. And this just perfectly illustrates the challenge we're facing. The descriptions from witnesses are remarkably consistent, even from credible people like park rangers. We've got this blurry trail cam footage that is just good enough to spark a huge debate, but not nearly clear enough to be proof. And Tasmania itself? Well, it's a vast, rugged wilderness. I mean, the perfect place for a reclusive animal to hide out. Next up, we're going to journey to the swampy forests of North America. We're on the search for the magnificent ivory-billed woodpecker. It was so striking that it was nicknamed the Lord God bird, because that's literally what people would yell out when they saw one. Now, this case just exploded back into the public eye in 2004. Researchers from Cornell University announced they had found it, and it sparked a total firestorm of excitement and controversy that is still raging today. It's honestly one of the fiercest debates in modern birding. Oh, the evidence here is just so tantalizing. There's a blurry video that shows a bird with the right size and the right wing pattern. There are eyewitness accounts from expert birders, and then there are these acoustic recordings of its signature double knock sound. The problem? The swamps it calls home are massive and almost impossible to survey completely. Okay, our final case takes us all the way to the mountains of Japan, a land of ancient folklore where the Honshu wolf was once this revered and also feared spirit of the wild. Look at that date, 1905. For over a century, the Japanese wolf has been considered a ghost. But then, in the new millennium, reports started to trickle in from the remote, mountainous parts of the country. So the evidence, you might see a pattern here. It's intriguing but not definitive. We have recordings of howls that just don't sound like dogs. We have trail cam pictures of these mystery dog-like animals and detailed sightings from people who really know the wilderness. And just like our other cases, its potential habitat is vast and incredibly difficult to explore. So we have all these compelling stories, right?
But how do we actually get from a blurry photo or a strange howl to scientific certainty? Let's take a look at what it actually takes to prove a Lazarus species is real. Okay, proving a rediscovery, it's kind of like climbing this ladder of evidence. It all starts with those anecdotal sightings. They're vital, they spark the whole search. But an eyewitness can be mistaken. So a clear photo is way better. But even images can be misinterpreted. A verified sound recording, now that's even stronger. But the ultimate gold standard, the irrefutable proof that would end all debate, is genetics. A single hair contains unique DNA. It's a biological fingerprint that is just undeniable and can definitively, literally rewrite the history books.
You know, given how incredibly difficult all this is, you might ask, why even bother? Why do people dedicate their entire lives to searching for these ghosts? Well, the answer goes so much deeper than just simple curiosity. Every single rediscovery sends this incredibly powerful message that extinction isn't always the end. It suggests that if we protect and restore habitats, even for species we think are lost, we might just give them a real fighting chance. It's a powerful, powerful argument against just giving up. You know, these searches also force us to be humble. They show us that nature is way more resilient and our knowledge is way more limited than we often like to admit. I mean, if a species can survive for 100 years without us even noticing, what else do we not know about the natural world? And ultimately, in an age where it feels like every single corner of the globe has been mapped and explored, these stories remind us that, well, it hasn't. Our planet is still a place of mystery and wonder and profound secrets just waiting to be found. And that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If the Tasmanian tiger, or the ivory-billed woodpecker, or even the Japanese wolf could still be out there, hiding in the shadows, what other creatures have we declared gone forever just a little too soon? The search continues.